Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We have a show for you. You know what drives here? Right off the bat, I have because I was going to say we have a show. It's definitely one of the shows of time. YouTube comments. People get stuck on like certain like things. Like, can we just take a moment to appreciate blah blah blah? Or I'm a simple man. I see XYZ and I click. And the newest ones is this was one of the videos of time or of all time. I don't know. This was one of the videos. Why do people have to parrot the same joke hundreds of thousands of times? I hate it.
I don't know. It's a joke.
Because
It's one of the jokes of time.
Of all time.
if you do it enough, eventually it will be funny, and then it'll stop being funny. But if you keep doing it, it'll be funny again.
Right.
I'm a simple man. I see that everybody make the same joke. I click and make the same joke. Let's just take a minute to appreciate 10,000 people all saying the same thing on every video of all time.
Of all time.
I don't know how they could do that. That would give me anxiety.
Yeah.
It's just so cliche. Anyway, yeah, YouTube commenting on YouTube videos. Of course, it doesn't help that like most of my main accounts are tied to my name, so there's a little bit of like. I've never done the like anonymous internet troll thing. I've never like I don't have just like burner accounts that I'll log into to like trash talk. And I think that's a good thing because it dissuades me from a lot of comments that might pop into my head.
Yeah. That's smart. I mean, that'll save you a lot of time, too.
Right. Anyway, hey, we've got an exciting show for you guys tonight. We've got some news, maybe a little bit of what we've been doing, yeah,
That should be plenty.
That's more than enough. Hey Melanie, what should we be excited about? Melanie's ready to wrap up now.
Could we just take a moment to
Oh
appreciate...
no! That was certainly one of the comments of all time.
Yeah.
But before all that, how are you two doing?
All right.
Yeah, we're here. We are here.
Cool. You know what kind of comments I do like though? When there becomes like a very specific meta, like it's okay to repeat jokes in a certain context. I love when there's video specific meta in the comments that has just been going for years. There's a music video that I love and I watch fairly often. It's the Melanesia. Is that how Melanie? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Melanesia. No, it's Amnesia. I think it's,
that's what it is.
You changed it to Melanesia because of me.
Yeah, I sing it at you. But it's got this chick and she does this like it's kind of a synth poppy sounding thing, and she does this like ridiculous dance. And I don't know when it originated, but somewhere in the comments somebody had said something about they knew like a fat 50-year-old trucker guy who had memorized all the choreography and would do the dance. And somehow the internet does what it does, and that's morphed into just like hundreds of comments of like, I knew a 50-year-old truck who used to memorize this and could do the whole dance on a trucker, just like mixed it around. It's just been going for years. Every time I check the video, there's new comments just mixing up that weird little anecdote.
That's pretty funny. It's like its own inner meme.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as I could tell, located just on that one video. That I like.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Well, hey, honestly, it's been kind of a light news week. because Dune 2 has taken over all the sites, reviews of Dune 2, and got to get your Dune 2 clicks. I appreciate that seems to be as popular as it does. The first Dune was good, and honestly, kind of like, I know Dune is a popular sci-fi thing, but I mean, they're not like the sexiest movies, right? Or at least the first one wasn't.
This one might be sexier, but even so, I don't ever think they really get sexy. And if anything, they get kind of disgusting.
Right. Well, if
It's not like a Tolkien thing, It's not like Lord of the Rings up in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't think it'd have the same type of mass appeal. It did get memed on pretty hard already with the popcorn bucket. Did you see the popcorn bucket with the worm opening?
Oh.
Like whatever, I don't know if it's AMC or whatever, they'll have like novelty popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
And this one had like this
Oh God.
bucket topper that was part of the worm and the mouth with little like all the teeth and stuff. And SNL did a skit that was a song about having relations with this popcorn bucket. Like it was just ridiculous. So it's just weird to see such pop culture stuff spring up over Dune, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that it's not very sexy when it's definitely spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the spice.
Right. It is about the spice.
If it was spicy and not like hot and sandy, then maybe, but
Right.
mix them all together, it's just uncomfortable.
They just need more Spice Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
It's more water.
It's water. It's water.
I think everybody's probably just like, oh, is Zendaya actually in this one? As opposed to just like very little dialogue. And
Zendaya a zigga zigga.
No.
All right.
Man, I'm too cued into some of the pop culture stuff. Have you guys? I know Melanie hasn't. She doesn't look at any of this stuff. No. Have you seen, Jesse? Have you maybe seen on social media any of the dresses and outfits she's been showing up for?
Man.
On the red carpet for?
Yeah, it was like someone was like, "Well, we know which of the Torchwood episodes is her favorite." Cyber Woman or whatever. Yeah.
I gotta find it. Melanie, you don't know? Do you know what we're talking about at all?
I have no clue. I don't follow people.
Well, red carpet fashion is typically not something I'm into, but man, these are so outlandish and uncomfortable looking.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen some fashion, if you can call it that, that's kind of ridiculous. So I can imagine, like there's one where there's like a big bubble, or like a balloon, and then it would like fart it out, and then they would fall down and turn into a dress on them. I don't get that at all, but that was a thing that I saw.
Huh.
Like a robot dress?
The only stuff like that I'm interested in is the pants that are, it's a whole outfit and it's just pants. It just goes to your shoulders.
Yeah. You shared that at one point, I think.
I share it often because I want them. Did you find it?
Okay, these are stream safe, right? I think so. I don't think she was really exposing too much.
No, she was in public.
Well,
but
she was on
but
the
they
red
do
carpet.
They do look crazy.
Okay. First, the somewhat less outlandish. This, I think, was what she wore to the Dune premiere. This is not what I expected to be talking about, by the way.
Right.
But it popped in my head.
We roll. We just roll with it. It's all pizza. She didn't wear a pizza, did she?
No. Okay, here's this. This is not bad, except like, how are you not nervous that the glue or whatever it is that holds that flap up is going to come down?
Right.
That's super strange, but
Yeah.
that's not the one though.
What's at the bottom of that? Is that skulls?
Where?
At the bottom of the dress. At the bottom of it. Yeah, right there. What's that?
There's like scarabs. Are they
I don't
beetles?
know.
I can't tell.
Can I like? That's
They
about
look
as-
like beetles or bugs that were made out of like roasted
Oh, they do look-
marshmallows.
Okay.
or
okay.
fungal. They do look weird and
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
gross. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, but this is the one.
Right.
Like, look at that. This is like a Rule 34 R2D2 or no C3PO or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Watching her, there's little video clips of her like just standing there and like posing is so uncomfortable because one, like, she can't move her head around for crap in that thing.
right.
And she doesn't know where it looked like. I know she was just kind of hitting different poses, but it looked like she didn't know where to put her hands. So she's just kind of like draping them there and moving a little bit and draping them. Like, it looks so that face, that expression is about perfect because it looked so uncomfortable. Because this is all like hard plastic or something.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna guess that she's making money for that.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're like pay you to wear their stuff on the runway, or not the runway, the red carpet.
I don't know how much of this I can.
Especially if you're somebody.
It's just like cheek windows.
Yep.
Anyway,
Cool.
enough of that. See, that's about as spicy as the Grawlix podcast ever
That's
got.
right. Yep.
Probably will ever get.
Fear is the mind killer.
But ridiculous. Yeah, you see that once in a while where high fashion or whatever. You know, I don't know what that was for. Some premiere or something, I'm guessing, but she would have had to like then go inside and change into her actual outfit, right? You
Yeah,
don't wear
I
that
mean-
thing all night. I don't think she could even sit down in that thing the way she was
That's
moving.
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
How do you
You never
just, like,
saw
lay-
C3PO sit down, so can't see
Just,
her
like-
sitting down.
lay you down in the back of a limousine and then like Silence of the
yeah.
Lambs hand trolley cart you up to the red carpet and tip you up.
That, or you have to ride on the back of like a parade float kind of hay rack, you know? Just like you just have to stand there and then just have to go 20 miles an hour or less.
It
They
seems
strap
cool
you
though.
to a dolly and they wheel you in.
It'd be so embarrassing to wear something that like outlandish to me.
Yeah.
But
Dear boy.
well, and then like Timothy Chalamet or whatever, is that his name? The co-star or kind of the lead in Dune. Yeah, like he comes up and poses next to her in just like jeans and a shirt.
Yeah, like a schlubby shirt and some sparkle pants.
Yep.
You got to have that sparkle pants. Okay. Before we get into the news, you guys been watching or consuming anything interesting?
No.
Really, the only thing we've watched that's kind of new is first we watched something old. So we watched a documentary on Hulu about MASH. And
Okay.
how, like how it was like the comedy that changed television or whatever. And that was pretty interesting. That was fun. And it,
I love MASH.
it's like showing all the actors that are still around, like good old Alan Alda. And, like a lot of them are still around. I was kind of shocked at how many of them there are. Like Klinger's still kicking. And the guy who played Radar, Gary Berghoff. So,
Radar?
yeah, Radar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Radar was
So-
the best.
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
best.
I love that show. That show's probably got one in my mind. It's probably got one of the best actual endings of any show in TV history. You know, like there's not too many shows where I'm like, man, they just nailed that final episode. But his is, you know, like that is one of them.
Hello, commenter. I don't know who that is. If you might be new, but AMC The Walking Dead, the ones who live, and then Hulu Shogun episode 1. Shogun is something I was not even aware of till like looking for news stories tonight. I'm very curious about it. That's on Hulu, huh? And then
And
I know there's
that one is that the one with Rick? Is that because
Walking Dead.
Yeah, my
spin-off?
friend Ben was literally just talking about that one.
I think so.
There's a new Netflix show that I'm wondering about called House of the Ninjas or something. Like it just showed up on my thing.
Rick and Michonne.
Okay, all right.
So the characters people really liked.
right.
Well, there was-
minus Daryl is all you're saying.
Minus Daryl, yeah.
Yeah.
Did Daryl go off to one of the?
I think
the
he's got his
spin-offs?
own show. I think he's got his show, and
Okay.
it's called like The Walking Dead Daryl or something like that. I don't know. But yeah,
Well,
no,
that
I heard
years
it's
ago.
intense, and I heard it's pretty good. If you know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's probably good if they brought it kind of back to that intense shock value that everybody kind of enjoyed about The Walking Dead in the first place. It just got to the point where it's like, yeah, nobody's gonna die. They're all too important. You know.
Well, and I didn't want everybody to die anymore. They lived through enough. Do they need to die? Come on.
Right.
We fell off shortly after the Glenn incident, which is like I never got to the point where I disliked the show. We just fell off,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I fell
That was
off
ages
shortly
ago.
after they took down Negan. And basically after Rick kind of disappeared. So,
I did not hear great things about. What was the one spinoff? Oh,
Fear
it
the
was
Walking
that
Dead?
the first
Fear the
spinoff.
Walking Dead? Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I watched that a little bit at the very beginning, but I heard the quality was not great as it went on. But I don't know.
I
not
liked how it started because it was basically like how it all went down, right? But the problem was that I was watching it when I had time, which was right around the pandemic, and I was like, yeah, this is too much. This is too real. You kind of predicted the pandemic, only worse. Because they're all like driving around in masks and stuff, and I was like, oh no, we've been living through this. I don't want to watch this. This is
I bet-
making me anxious.
I bet there's several projects and movie and series that kind of like at least lost a lot of people's interest because of that.
Sweet
Yeah.
Tooth.
Oh yeah.
Sweet Tooth, yeah. And then of course stuff that got just delayed, but well, I haven't been we've been watching the animated Avatar. The new Avatar live action series is out. We haven't been watching it. Melanie's been making me watch the original series because I never watched all of it.
And
So we're
can't
into
appreciate
season 2
how
of that.
crappy the live action is if you don't know how great the cartoon is.
I will say it is great. I think we talked about it last week a bit, so I won't go into it, but it is pretty great. Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing Mortal Kombat occasionally since yesterday. But well, I've been playing it off and on for a while since I bought it. But they finally released an update and added Peacemaker. Is it Peacemaker? That's
Oh
his name.
yeah.
And he's pretty great. Like,
I saw
It's
one of
John's-
his fatalities or something. So yeah, it did. It looked like, oh my god, that's over the top.
they nailed. I mean, they did pretty good with Omni-Man too, right? So far, because the combat pack, there's a couple of MK characters, but also the big like celebrity gets were Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and Homelander. But they've really been like kind of dragging it out on releasing these characters. So Omni-Man's been out for a while, and I feel like they like his fatalities are great and gruesome, appropriately gruesome, and they nailed his kind of deal. But Peacemaker has so much more personality because it's Peacemaker. It's John Cena basically being a heightened John Cena, a big doofus.
Right.
And of course, they got John Cena's voice, and they nailed it. And so he's fun in that respect. His moves are fun and ridiculous. Like a perfect example is he has a regular move where he's just like, it's a human torpedo. He just like, because he has the helmet, so he just fires, like shoots his body straight across the screen, kind of like the Raiden thing, right? The Raiden Superman move, but just head first. But what makes it great is he hits, and then when he lands, it's not graceful because he's just a big chunk of muscle, right? He just thuds on the ground, and it looks all awkward for a second till he jumps up. The little stuff like that, it just nailed kind of everything about it. It's so awesome. That's been fun.
I wonder if they almost had to, because they originally started the game with motion capture, right? Like,
right.
Do they get John Cena to mocap this stuff? And because they got him for the like voiceover stuff.
I'm not sure. I can't say for sure, but I was actually contemplating that while I was playing it, because especially John Cena, he's such a like. No, they did get motion capture they do motion capture for the characters and the fight moves and stuff. Whether or not they had John Cena do all his motion capture, I'm not sure, but I would think so, just because like
no one has a build like John Cena.
John exactly.
Cena is
you move a certain
singular.
way.
Yeah,
you move a certain way when you're built like that. And if anything, maybe they just did like some of the key stuff, like his fatal blow move, where whatever, he does some moves, but then he like throws the shotgun between his legs and like.
Tell me he does the stupid dance thing.
He does part of the stupid dance thing.
Yes,
good. When he wins, he'll do like, there's like neon little lights on the side, and then he'll come up and do like this, and like the hip thrust and the Mortal Kombat neon light will turn on. Like they nail the things he says. I can't say them because it's Peacemaker and it's uncensored.
Yeah,
but yeah, they nailed him. Really good.
Good.
You get Eagly. Eagly's a couple special moves. He comes out.
I saw he comes in on one of the fatalities. I saw like one of the fatalities, and it was like, oh, there's Eagly. I saw a man get a hug an eagle. I love that show. That show's so much better than it has any right to be.
When is season 2 coming? It's got to be soon if they released him, because that's kind of what they did with Omni-Man. They kind of waited till the first half of season 2, I think it was, of Invincible dropped before they dropped him. But yeah, I kind of want to revisit season 1 again. It's interesting because like the comic book shows, we do Grawlix, we've seen all of those, but watching Mortal Kombat YouTubers like talk about the characters or just the characters, I'm kind of surprised at how many of them have like no clue who these people are. Like they know who John Cena is, but they don't know the character or anything. And I've seen a couple of them be like, oh, this guy makes me kind of want to watch the show now. They had no interest.
Yeah.
So, that's a good integration. I mean, WB owns all of it anyway, but good product integration.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of WB, unless Jesse, you had something else you wanted to.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of sending you some stuff.
So
I played a game recently. It's not new at all. It's Mega Man 2, because they had a Humble Bundle. I think I mentioned it even on the show. That was all the like all the old Mega Man games, and
Uh-huh.
even like the Mega Man X or whatever. But yeah, part of that includes like all the like European package art and whatnot, and it just made me think of our conversation about Dune a little bit too, because like what they give us versus what they give the Brits is like a
Okay.
totally different aesthetic in terms of like what is uh what is sci-fi for us or what is sci-fi for them. So I just sent it to you in the chat. I don't know if it's
Yeah, yeah.
if it'll translate well to the stream or not, but it's like, so we know Mega Man is that very cartoony, or
Mhm.
Rockman or whatever he was originally in Japan, and Mega Man 2 was always my favorite. And so like, yeah, there you go. There's your very classic Mega Man, the kind of thing that you probably saw in the cartoon when they released it. And then there is the European box art. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Uh,
what?
I,
That's Mega Man? Like, look at that crazy head behind his left shoulder.
mhm.
And it's like, wow. This is the
yeah,
same
that
game, huh? I feel like if you picked up the game and that was the box art, like, and then you played it and you were like, what is this? Like, I don't feel like that translates to what you get in the
it's
game.
Mhm.
interesting because it's not even just a matter of like, I mean, obviously a very different direction stylistically, but it's not even just a matter of like interpreting. This reminds me of, first off, it's kind of got a retro, classic
Yeah.
aesthetic, although still some weird, excuse me, weird design choices here.
All right.
But yeah, but it's not like an Atari. Like you see, like there's some cool game
Oh,
art for Atari 2600 games where then you play the game and it's just like blocky stick people, right?
right. Yeah.
But like NES, old school Mega Man looked more like this. It
Right.
actually kind of resembled these characters. This is just like some other thing.
Yeah, yeah. This is just like, okay, we're gonna give Bolero the concept art. Now make something that's like in your style instead. You know?
Still, that doesn't beat. No, no, that's not it. I mean, there's classic bad Mega Man, like official covers,
Oh yeah.
like this one. Where was this from?
But the very first Mega Man cover was kind of like that, but not that awkward. Oh yeah,
Like,
that's the original Mega Man. Yeah, and that's bad. That's bad. But like,
Mhm.
I don't know what this is. Like this. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
his hand cannon doesn't it doesn't look right.
Mm-mm.
No,
Also, he
no.
looks very like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
And that dragon, man. Like, you fight a dragon, but it doesn't look like that.
That's a cool dragon. He's like
That's a cool
metal.
dragon, yeah.
Mhm.
I even
It's
recognize some of these bosses, like that floating weird goblin head thing is in the airman level, but it's like I don't know. I guess I didn't think of it like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
good observation. That's fun.
Yeah. So that's been my video game playing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
I
then
know a
the
guy
only
that.
other thing we've watched is the on Apple TV. It's called Shrinked, and it's got Harrison Ford and it's got Jason Segel, and I think it's got some of the like several of the writers from Ted Lasso, and so it was an interesting follow up to we just did a rewatch of everything How I Met Your Mother. So
Mhm.
Jason Segel's main character in that. This is a different approach to it, and it's interesting because it's like he's a like a counselor. He's like a therapist or a psychologist or something, right? And he just lost his wife and he's not handling his grief very well. So, like, he's making lots of terrible decisions and whatnot. And he's basically breaking all the rules. like, like basically just telling his his clients, or like telling them what they should do, kind of thing. Like, you should leave him and you should move in with your sister in Canada. Like that kind of thing. Like, no, you do this over and over and over again. You come in here every week and you say this. This is what you should do, kind of thing. And he's just getting like overly invested in his clients all of a sudden, and so it's kind of just like watching a train wreck happen. Like, what shouldn't you do in therapy?
Right. Cool. Man, Apple TV has some interesting stuff. They definitely have invested a lot of money into their programs. But I don't...
Oh, the only reason we're watching is because Holly bought a computer and you get 3 months free.
Oh, nice.
So,
I mean, there's a lot of... I get the sense they're going for, like, classier. Like, they're classier programming, which is cool. Like, there's a lot of stuff that looks good, but, man, Apple TV...
Maybe now that they stopped working on the Apple car, they can put more into it.
Right.
I would hope so, yeah. Apple car, man.
Apparently they've been working on that for years, and they finally were like, nah, forget it.
Right.
Why are we chasing that guy? Look what he's doing over on that social media network. We don't need to chase him anymore.
No, it's probably like they saw people burning the electric cars down, and we're like, maybe we should wait a little bit.
Right, the
Get into this.
self-driving car. I love that story. Yeah. I mean, mob mentality's not good, but like, if you're a company and like a mob burns your self-driving car, and everybody around stands around and cheers, like, I don't know, you should take that as like free market. What's the word? Free.
Oh yeah.
Market testing, I guess.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Hey, speaking of WB, I'm just going to go back to my same segue. Wait. Oh, I still haven't made a... Here, this is...
DC
DC gun reforms. Superman Legacy. He gets a title change. James Gunn changed the title of Superman Legacy. Now, it's going to be called Superman. Yeah, he changed it to just Superman. He said, this is according to the Hollywood Reporter, and I don't know if they're picking it up from somewhere else or they got it directly, but that's where I'm reading it. He said, when I finished the first draft of the script, I called the film Superman Legacy. By the time I locked the final draft, it was clear the title was Superman. making our way to you July 2025. Yeah. He also shared an image. See, light news week, but I have several images to show you.
All right.
So many sights to show you.
Oh, we're going to see the symbol, aren't we?
Of course.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple times now. I'm just like, okay, it's fine.
I was like, wait, isn't that just the Snyderverse Superman symbol? I guess it's a bit,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's got the same like texturing that a lot of the Snyderverse costumes had up close, but yeah.
They have simplified the S almost to the point of being a backwards 7, but yeah.
Right. It's just, I mean, it's similar to the classic, but yeah, it's just basically a thick swoosh across the shield shape, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of S left to it, but it's fine.
Right. It doesn't bother me that much.
It's kind of, what's that?
We got a comment. Clark Griswold. Some poor nerd is gonna go bankrupt buying that. Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll probably be Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll probably
Then
go
he'll-
bankrupt buying another Superman thing, and
I heard rumors of Nicolas Cage retirement at some point in the near future. Not if they start. Not if they keep
Yeah.
making stuff like that available to buy. You know, he can't retire.
right.
Man, that like dinosaur skull or whatever. That's quite a tale, and he ended up kind of getting screwed over in that deal, but because it was stolen and anyway, he's a hardcore nerd. Um, are you guys excited for the Superman movie?
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know there was a Superman movie that was coming out. So this is. I mean, we probably even talked about it. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't remember it.
Right.
I mean, are they gonna tell us the story again? Like, I don't need to see them leave Krypton again. I don't
Well,
need
I think
baby
we've had-
Clark again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not. Superman Legacy made me think it was gonna be kind of a take on the Grant Morrison Superman stuff. Didn't he do kind of like a
like Superman All Star.
maybe
All-Star
maybe I'm not
Superman.
sure why I'm getting that. Yeah, yeah. Clark Griswold says, "I treat Superman like any other franchise. It could be good depending on who's involved and how they tell the story." Right. And I'm personally like I'm a James Gunn fan. Now I realize that things about James Gunn's properties that I like are not necessarily going to transfer to all these projects. I can't imagine a real hardcore James Gunnified Superman movie. He's just got a certain like humor and shtick that does not, I feel like, translate to Superman. But I'm still hopeful for,
No,
any
there's
of these projects.
was that
he's-
scene in Superman 3 where Superman gets super trashed. Like, I could see a James Gunn Superman doing that.
Yeah, agreed on that.
When he was so good in Peacemaker. We were just talking about Peacemaker, so.
Right.
But, like, that's what I like him for. You know, I like him for that kind of thing. Kind of pushing the limits of characters we really don't know anything about. So, I mean, like, we'll see if he can do it with, like, a main stable, like one of the Trinity of DC.
Gunn, I think.
Superman's the lamest. They should just call the movie not Batman, and nobody will go see it like they should anyway.
Call it not Batman.
Not Batman. Not Batman. Legacy.
Hey, WB, DC, rename all your comics that are not Batman as not Batman. And, Batgirl is now Batman Girl.
And we still won't get to see it.
Nope.
Right. Good point. I feel like James Gunn is. I just have more faith in his vision of a thing than I did Snyder's, and I don't want to just turn into Snyder bashing, but I think they both are kind of comic book nerds, but Snyder's a very specific comic book nerd, and James Gunn, I think, has, if not more knowledge, wider taste in things. Snyder, I think, had a very specific taste, which I get. He liked the darker stuff, which I as well. But some of the weird references and stuff that Gunn pulls, like, he's kind of an all-around fan.
I never thought I'd see Cosmo on the movie screen. Like, it's a dog in a spacesuit. Like, not only did we see him early on in the collector's, like, home or whatever it was, in the dead head of a celestial, then we got to actually have Cosmo running around in a whole movie as a very good boy. Peacemaker,
Peacemaker, at least what they made Peacemaker to be, is kind of perfect for James Gunn's thing, like his shtick. And I can totally understand some people not enjoying it, but I think everyone who does enjoy the Peacemaker series has the same reaction of like, I don't know why they would do this. What's the point? And then they watch it and they're like, but I love that they did. Like, why does this exist? I don't know, but it's great. So,
Yeah.
okay. Want to see more pictures of other things?
Sure.
This is, see if you can see the DC connection here. But we're getting into cat dancing territory now.
Oh my.
I'm jumping over to, let's see, IndieWire, and I want to go ahead and share this tab. The Crow, first look. Bill Skarsgård is the tattooed rocker back from the underworld and avenging his lover's death. Okay, so, there's a new Crow movie coming.
Right. Oh,
and they released some pictures.
He doesn't have a tattoo on his face, does he? That's like a bruise, right? Or
Don't
I don't.
I have Jared Leto vibes. No.
Whoa, hold on. I mean, he doesn't have the right tattoo. It's supposed to say damaged right here, right? I do not like it.
Man.
I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't. Did it jump over to the right tab? It didn't. Hold on.
He looks like J.O. Barr, like his vision of the Crow, but
Right.
I don't like it.
Is he gonna do cat dancing?
He better.
He'll get some bonus points there.
That's the only thing that could
Yeah.
redeem it at this point. He better be dancing around sadly with his cat, or screw that movie.
Right.
More unnecessary content. I mean, arguably,
Yeah.
everything we talk about is unnecessary content, which makes us
fair.
ourselves like
We are
second
superfluous.
cousins.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. Extra unnecessary. But yeah, man, I'm not excited for a Crow movie, but I'm of that generation, right? Like, it doesn't need, the Crow movie is both like not great, but also perfect. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
It does look like he fits a J.O. Barr character,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But man, I hate the face tattoos.
And I have a hard
There's
time
some
not
weird
seeing
stuff
Pennywise
going on
now.
his.
Yeah.
What's that?
I also can't help but see Pennywise now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is. The Crow needs a remake as much as American Psycho. I mean,
Agreed. Yeah. Why do you
Yeah.
need to remake that movie?
American Psycho would be worse. Like, that's unnecessary. That's truly unnecessary.
I
At
really
least
wish
the
they would
Crow.
Stop remaking everything and make something original.
At least the Crow, the way the comics have gone, the graphic novels, is like, the Crow is like, there are different Crows. Like, Joe Barr has done several Crow series or books or whatever, and it's a different Crow. So at least like there is potentially source material there, but American Psycho has a reboot talk, but why?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing they're going to do that's going to make it more
like-
interesting.
That's like remaking Huey Lewis and the News' sports album. Why would you need to do that? Why would
Now,
you
this
need
is-
to have Huey's version?
This is personal opinion.
What did he do
And
to his hair?
I'm sure,
It looks
okay.
like, it looks like the campfire and Karate Kid. I feel like Joey Lawrence is going to come kick this kid's butt
Why
for smacking on his girl.
why the like South African mullet? That's
Yeah.
what it reminds me of, right? It's
Yeah.
like chappy. But also like it's totally the mullet, but it's the very short mullet. I don't understand. I don't like
Yeah.
it. But that's, I guess, my personal taste. So,
He's wearing such bright clothes too.
well, I'm sure this is pre.
Well, yeah, but even
but-
pre, I mean, like that's when he goes full vigilante. The Crow, like, wears his old rock gear.
I was gonna say all he does is come home and like change his shirt.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Right.
Well,
I can't kill people in this coffin suit.
kids are not all. They're not all about that goth style. They don't want that crap anymore. They don't want tight leather and black clothes. They want
If we give them a couple
buzz
years, they will.
mullets and face tattoos.
Face tattoos are clearly a thing. I don't know.
They don't want rockers. They want SoundCloud rappers. I don't know. That is his style though. Like that is like much more a SoundCloud rapper than goth rocker. Or
Oh, is
something.
this as Machine Gun Kelly or something vibe? Is that what we
Right,
got here?
right. So that's that. There's some
Wow.
pictures.
That is something.
I was a little hopeful. I mean, honestly, like if it's good, it's kind of like what Clark Griswold was saying in the comments about franchises. Like, if it's good, depends on who's involved and how they tell the story. But it's not necessarily a thing I'm excited for. Like, surprise me. But
Right.
I'm.
Well, like on paper, it's a good casting because he does look like a J.O. Barr character. Like he just embodies it. He looks like a human, oh, what's his name? I'm totally blanking. Tim Burton. He looks like a human Tim Burton drawing. Like on paper, he
Right.
should be perfect for this. But like, wow, how could you mess it up? I don't know. Couldn't somebody have done like some concept drawings of these costumes before, and then put them on the internet so that we could Sonic the Hedgehog this thing?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be fine. It'll be cool. I don't think it's in this article. I was trying to see it just now, but I seen elsewhere where he was saying, Skarsgård was saying that the movie's like it's like the Cure song. And it's like, well, of course you would say that because that's the thing you say to maybe try to get people on board with it because there was that Cure song in the original Crow and J.O. Barr was definitely inspired by the Cure and that and similar ilk music and bands at that point when he made the original graphic novel. But I don't know, man.
Well, and also like the work in and of itself is like him processing his trauma and his grief over a real life thing. And it's almost like the further we get away from that, the less this property, the less heart this property has, the less it feels like it's doing any of that. And then it just feels less and less authentic.
Right. This is a pretty good question. I like this. This is a talking point question. I got to eyeball our time here. What from the 90s actually should be remade?
Saved by the Bell.
No.
I'm pretty sure they did in the 90s
Oh, yeah,
at
you're
least
right.
twice, and then they did a reunion more recently. We
Yeah,
don't
it
know
might
that.
be- There might still be ones running where like Zach is the principal or some crap like that. I don't know. I heard about it from somebody.
Okay,
Herman's Head. I like Herman's Head. It was too short. Redo that. Or
they
just-
already did. It's called.
Inside Out.
Is that what it is? Inside Out by
The
Pixar.
Pixar movie, yeah.
It's like the
That's
same
not
thing.
Same.
Well, let's talk about movies though, because I mean, remaking shows is one thing, but
Right.
Movies.
Zach is a senator. Yeah, didn't they make him a senator?
I think you're right.
This is a cheat, but this is the one movie. This has been my go-to for years of a movie they should remake, but it's a cheat because it's from 1987. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And this is supposed to get a new version by Edgar Wright. I haven't heard an update on that in years, so who knows what's happening. But The Running Man, I know it's not 90s,
Yeah.
but that's a movie where it's like kind of a classic, but when you watch it, it's not good, right? Like, but it's got a strong enough premise. And I know it kind of takes from the story and like isn't really accurate to the original short anyway, but something like that. Remake, and I know they don't want to do it. I think Running Man squeaks by because it's still kind of like sticks with people and people has stuck in like the kind of the cultural subconscious. But take a movie that's like promising but not really good and remake that and do it good.
Sure.
Instead, like making mediocre to crap remakes of great classics is so pointless.
Right. Mine is, I don't know if it's a good idea or if it's like another one of those like don't you touch it kind of movies, right? But like Hackers. You know, like on one hand, don't touch it, don't do it. But on the other hand, like now technology has gone so far in a different direction that it's like you could totally make that movie a different thing now. Or you could really lean into the cyberpunk element of it. And I don't know. We don't have very many good cyberpunk movies, so I'd love to see something.
Dude, that's a great pick. I think you're onto something. Hacking, like, so, yeah.
They need to add it, mush it in with like Johnny Mnemonic or something, where they hack into people's brains. That's what they need to do.
There you go. Oh no!
Well, you don't want to remake a Hackers?
Don't you touch Hackers? Yeah, that's fair.
Well, here's the hacking. Hacking in movies and TV is always like ridiculous, right? It's never because if you watched a hacker do hacking things, they're just sitting in a computer. It's not exciting. But I think that's where do Hackers modern day eyes it a bit and then place it a couple years in the future or whatever. So you can get a little bit of the cyberpunk feel. It's more modernized, but you can get a little more ridiculous because it's just slightly beyond technology we have.
It's like Hackers, but it's the Hackers' kids. So it's Hacker Kids.
And they'd have to have cameos by old, tired-looking. Well, I don't know. Angelina Jolie does not ever look old and tired, but
yeah, let's do it. Let's just print some money here.
Listen, anyone who's going to greenlight a Hackers movie can't afford Angelina Jolie, so I don't expect her character to show back up. But
yeah.
But you know all the things they can do now that are just amazing? It really, like the fingerprint thing, you know, they can hear your finger run across your freaking phone and map your fingerprints. That's crazy they can do that. They can or use the Wi-Fi to like 3D map your location. That's nuts.
Clark makes a great point. They say, I'm with Kevin. The love for hackers comes mostly from pre-tech boom cluelessness. So, it's AI hackers now.
Ooh.
There you go. Because people like it's on the edge of the boom, but people are still pretty clueless as to how it actually works. Mm-hmm. And there's like a panic as it is. You feed that panic.
Right. Ooh, so let's go Dark City. Let's remake Dark City.
Dark City's interesting because I don't think it needs a remake.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there is room for improvement.
And nobody saw it.
It's weird. It's definitely flew under the radar. Like I think people are aware of it, but it didn't hit. I don't know why. It just didn't hit like a.
Is that technically 90s? I feel like it's 90s. I don't know.
It's got to be, right? It was sometime around Matrix period because it's got slightly similar aesthetic.
Oh, yeah, it might be more aughts.
98.
98. Hey, it counts.
Right. Alex Garland AI movie.
The Net was... there was not a whole lot going on in that had
in the net.
Actually, you know. Yeah,
yeah, that's fair. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, I remember. There's like a behind the scenes
7.
No, 7's great.
But what's in the box?
Why maybe it, I'm sure it does feel dated now, but 7 is the kind of movie where I don't necessarily feel like it was really. I mean, the cars are going to look old. You know what? Some things probably did not age well. Talking about how like the government's tracking like people what they check out from the library, and they're like, "How is this legal?" Well, it isn't strictly legal, and it's just like people don't. There is no concept of privacy. Like, of course, the government would know what you check out from a library. What's a library? So, like, some stuff has not aged well, but like the setting wise, I feel like Seven almost felt like a period piece at the time, but it's like a slight kind of like Dark City, where it's almost a slight amalgam of different periods.
Yeah.
I think we've come to the conclusion that you just can't remake 90s movies. They are just wholly what they are.
I mean, we've got to be a ways into the 90s nostalgia boom at this point, right? I feel like
Right.
it's definitely has not taken grab as hard as the 80s nostalgia boom did. Just about 10 years ago now.
They should redo Dazed and Confused, but if it was the 90s.
Oh, I know what they should redo.
They would too. That would be the appropriate like time frame for it.
Here's what needs an actual honest to God remake, because they never really nailed it. And I know I'm going to catch some flack because I know my audience here, but Tank Girl.
I love Tank Girl.
Yeah, people are not. I think people would be very upset about that. I'm fine with it, but
There we go.
I'm not particularly fond of the Tank Girl movie, but I've seen it so many times because of people at high school. In fact, Kevin, I'm pretty sure I've watched it with him at parties back in the day multiple times. Like,
That's because you know a lot of chicks. And chicks love Lori Petty. Because Lori Petty is the poo.
the story works out without Van Damme. What story? Van Damme.
Time Cop.
Time Cop.
Oh, Time Cop. I didn't even see the Time Cop. Time Cop? Yeah, why not? That wasn't. Listen, that's not a great movie. It's fine. It's not great.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
It's got more potential than anything really.
Van Damme's pretty cool, right? But I'm hard pressed to think of a single Van Damme movie that I would say is a great
It's
movie.
perfect. Yeah.
And is
Yeah,
beyond
maybe.
touch.
But now that
You know-
I think about it, Time Cop would be a good one, and so would that one like Super Soldier. Was that him? though?
Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one too. The only one that I think is almost perfect is Kickboxer, and it's only because he does the drunk dance thing.
That's the one with the drunk dance.
That's the one with the drunk dancing, and then he wraps his hands in like broken glass and stuff. Because, Bloodsport is even kind of a like it's got this whatever appeal to it, but it's like no, that could be improved. But like
You know what?
Kickboxer is wholly its own thing, man.
This is not a particularly interesting story, but I got to jump to it just because it would segue so perfectly. Speaking of remakes, Roadhouse.
Oh my god.
So the new Roadhouse movie came out on Amazon, I believe. And there's a lawsuit over it. And it's not specifically about this, but it is something to do with the writer, and the rights were about to relapse. So MGM, which Amazon owns MGM now. I did not realize, but apparently Amazon owns MGM. We're trying to hurry up and get the movie done and out by a certain point. So there's a lawsuit saying that the writer's strike delayed it and it would have lapsed before they could get it out. So the lawsuit claims Amazon used AI voices of the actors to finish scenes during the actor strike, which would have been a big violation.
Yeah, before they had hammered things out, yeah.
Right. How Amazon has said, this is all alleged, by the way. Amazon has said that's not true. That's not the case at all.
Well, Amazon's got good enough lawyers that they could lie about anything, right?
Yeah, probably.
Well, the lawyer working on behalf of the writer is the same guy who was the lawyer for what was his name? I lost it. This is a pretty long article, actually. Victor Miller, he sued on behalf of the Friday the 13th case, which was a big deal. And Victor Miller ended up, like, it kind of came out in his favor. But that's, like, that lawsuit's why there hasn't been a new Friday the 13th in forever. And then also, yeah, sued on behalf of the family of Jerry Siegel for Superman. Like, some high profile cases that are not too dissimilar to this in, like, nature. So the lawsuit, I think, is over the rights of the screenplay and all that, more so than it is specifically about, like, AI usage or anything. But that's, I think, is just a highlight, like, Amazon intentionally, like, broke this rule in order to whatever, and I'm assuming they're going to use that to show, like, some type of intent to, you know, wrong, whatever. I'm not a law guy, but I know people love Roadhouse. For whatever reason, it's a movie I never really got into, but people love Roadhouse. And
I think we should just take a moment right here and just appreciate that.
Oh, no.
That Roadhouse is getting a remake.
Also, Naked Gun reboot or new installment.
No, let Leslie Nielsen just, that's like trying to remake an Ernest movie. Because I was thinking that too. Is like, man, I wish that somebody would do a new Ernest movie. But without Jim Varney, no, I don't want anyone to ever touch the Ernest character again. Ernest P. Worrell died with Jim Varney.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I agree for sure. But you don't have to do it without Leslie Nielsen. In fact, wait, you do have to do it without him. It's Liam Neeson? Wait, why would it be a reboot with Liam Neeson? Is he going to be... for whatever reason, I seen it as Leslie Nielsen. I was like, I don't know how they're going to make that happen. But
I'm not taken with this idea.
Liam Neeson's not funny.
No!
No. No, the only time he's funny is when he's intentionally cast as, like, a little bit part, because he's so serious, and that makes it funny.
Yeah. Even his Qui-Gon in in the Star Wars prequel, it's like the only thing that's funny about that is how not funny he is.
Mm-hmm.
Seth MacFarlane would be a producer. Like, whatever this is going to be, it's going to be junk.
You have a hate for Seth MacFarlane a little bit, don't you?
I kind of do.
Actually paid money to see Liam Neeson in Ernest Scared Stupid. I've got a very specific set of skills. You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah. Anyway. And then real quick, just because I said I had a bunch of pictures, and this is literally, like, this is the whole story. There's really not much to it. New Tron movie, which was announced a while back, Tron Ares or whatever. Disney released a picture. That's the picture. Looks
Hey,
Tron-y.
looks like that outfit that what's her butt was wearing earlier from Dune,
Zendaya.
You know?
Yeah. It just needs the cheek windows. Yeah.
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 Just put a light disc on each cheek. There you go.
So is this the guy, the son then?
Not necessarily. I don't know. Like, there's no, like, actual story information about it. They don't know if it's going to be connected to the other movies at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, God, why is he in everything? Jared Leto's going to be in there. So
He's not that bad.
He's also not very
that great.
good.
Evan Peters, though.
Huh?
Evan Peters is great.
Yeah.
Gillian Anderson. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not any, like, story information about it.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Yep. You know what else is amazing?
Huh.
What?
Fingerprints. And
Ooh, fingerprints.
yes,
not on this
the world should give kudos to the researchers at Shanghai Normal University in China and the University of Bath in the UK because they have developed a water-soluble, non-toxic fluorescent spray that makes fingerprints visible in just a few seconds. And like it already said, it's water soluble and non toxic. When traditionally there's either a powder that's toxic and like messes up the DNA, or some spray that's like very unfriendly to the environment. But this is made from like jellyfish material, biofluorescent material. So it's safe for the environment and it doesn't mess up DNA. So if it's in blood or something, it won't hurt it to get sprayed on there. Works faster, and it also works on rough surfaces like brick and stuff, where normally you wouldn't be able to get fingerprints. And it has 2 different colors that it glows in, so that you can see it in places that you wouldn't, like if you wouldn't be able to see the one color, you should be able to see the other. So yeah, it's faster and safer, greener, less disruptive to the crime scene, all that good jazz. So all around good.
Yeah, every criminal listening. I don't. We just have criminals listening. It's like, yeah, this is amazing. Thanks.
A lot of cold cases. Well, like when it comes to like does that mean that we're a true crime podcast now?
Bring on the listeners.
All right.
Yeah.
We just made it big.
I felt really dated for a second. I was going to say, we need to do some mattress ads. I don't think the mattress company, whatever that mattress company is.
Well, my pillow is probably not paying for ads anymore.
Not My Pillow. No, they're not paying for ads anymore.
They're not paying for ads. No, they're selling everything.
Last I heard, they were actively not paying for ads.
Right.
And Fox News was upset about it. No, there was the mattress company that like they'll deliver mattress and whatever. They were advertising with everybody for a long time. I can't remember what the name of it is offhand. So anyway,
get some of that sweet Audible money.
Audible. I'm not super current on the like big popular podcasts, so I don't know what's advertising. But if going by what I watch on YouTube, it's probably Manscaped or NordVPN.
I was just gonna say it's Manscaped, it's VPN, or it's like Blue Chew, some kind of ED pharmacy. Like Hims.
Yeah. Yep.
Bones
I work
Coffee.
with a podcast that has advertisements. They do a lot of Factor, where the meal shipping, like
yes.
whatever,
yeah,
Factor
like Huel
75 or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh Eats or Fresh whatever. Oh yeah, they said, wow, y'all are still getting those ads. Yeah,
You know what that you probably don't get? StreamYard. It's amazing, and look at it. You can cast to lots of different platforms and put your own logo on there and all that jazz, right?
Yeah, we can talk to Clark Griswold on Twitch, and we can talk to Kevin on Facebook, all at the same time.
I do love this aspect of this. Genuine thing here is we'll have Facebook commenters, and we'll throw it up here, and they'll get replies from people commenting over on Twitch because they can see it through the little pop-up here. I love that. That's legitimately pretty cool. But yeah. Stream to multiple websites or multiple locations at the same time. Right now, we are streaming to 2 Facebook pages: Jesse's Facebook page, Twitch, and YouTube. And we could be streaming to more, but I don't know. I feel like at a certain point, it's overkill. People if they don't see us there, they're not interested. But you could also do webinars. This is a little bit of a sponsored segment, so disclaimer or disclosure. What's the term? Whatever. But yeah. I mean, we've been using StreamYard for years, so you can also give it a try yourself for free at StreamYard.com. In fact, there is a referral link that probably was automatically added to the description of wherever you're watching this. I don't know when they started doing that, but they did. But if you click it, yeah, it's new. They didn't really tell me. That's okay. If you click it, you can get like a $10 off credit or something. So
Yeah. Or you can just
Yeah.
use it for free, like we do when they're not paying us to use it. And say this.
And that's where it stopped being a paid sponsorship.
right. Hey, just before we got like too honest, that's when the ad ended.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they even really paid us. They just didn't make us pay, is really what it was, for
There
the
you
extra
go.
features.
Right. I don't remember signing anything, so I'm not sure. I don't think they can hold us responsible for anything we're supposed to not say. I don't remember any instructions like that. We're good.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this was like a proper, like, sponsored segment, there's definitely
People know
probably
what
things
sponsored
along the
means.
lines of what you're saying that we're not supposed to say.
Well, that's silly, because everybody knows what sponsored means. There's no point in, you know.
I'm actually like, I've always been super careful about like making sure, like, you know, we've had the Humble Bundle. Grawlixpodcast.com/humble will redirect you through our affiliate link. We've had affiliate links and stuff, and I've always been like, when it's an affiliate link, if I share it somewhere, careful to like specify that it's an affiliate link. But it is still a very common thing that like influencers and stuff, we're not influencers, but you know, influencers and stuff don't disclose that stuff, like, still. And
Really?
and like, you're supposed to. But I mean, you know, I don't know. They can't necessarily police it everywhere all the time. So
Half the time they just put a little tag up there that says paid, whatever.
right, and that's fine. That's enough. But there's I think it's probably a surprising amount of people that still just like don't disclose. And there's still companies that will like, I see it come out once in a while, will send people stuff and specify don't disclose that this is a paid spot, and it's like, no, that's not proper.
Yeah, I want to be one of those. How do you get people to just send you free stuff, and they're like, just talk about my stuff? Oh, you got to be famous first, huh?
You have to be famous first, yeah.
You gotta have a lot
I
of
could
followers.
get
yeah.
famous if they would send me free stuff. I'd be like, look at this free stuff, and then I'd get famous.
All right.
I don't think you would. I think you'd just have free stuff.
She might be on to something here.
No, it's like unboxers. You know,
Oh,
those,
the unboxers,
those type
yeah.
people. Like,
Yeah, they do. They get big. It's like once they get big enough, then it's like, oh, we'll just send you stuff to unbox
yeah.
because you have a lot of people watching you.
Right.
I won't lie. There's been a couple times where I'll be watching a YouTube video and I'll be like, I should become like a synth YouTuber or a audio gear YouTuber, because they do tend to get a lot of stuff sent to them for free.
Right.
I think sometimes if it's a very expensive thing, they're supposed to send it back. But I'll be a audio plug-in YouTuber. Send me a bunch of keys for some free software. I'll take that.
Well, you know, if we had continued on with our original setup, we occasionally got free comic book things.
That's
so,
true.
but
That's
we don't
true.
really do it as much anymore. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lots of PDFs from
yeah,
indie companies and stuff, and a lot of that stuff was really good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesse's like, yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we talked about comics? That's why it's called Grawlix.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh no, I feel it's not fine when he says it like that. No, I do.
I don't have time to read. What are we talking about here?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm.
I don't know why. All right, well, I think that's the show. Thanks for watching. Man, I love me some comments. So
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for joining in, guys.
it just makes the stream so much more pleasant. It's much more fun to have like.
Waterworld. That's what they should remake. Waterworld.
You can't remake anything that has Dennis Hopper in it. Dennis Hopper was a treasure.
But what if you remake it? Just include his scenes from the original in it, exactly as they are.
Oh, okay. Sold. You just need Dennis Hopper, okay?
He plays the leader of the evil cigarette
It's the-
smokers.
It's the only thing wrong with the new Super Mario Brother movie. Doesn't have Dennis Hopper in it as Koopa.
That's the only thing wrong. You're
It's
right.
the only thing wrong
You're
with
right.
it. That and, Chris Pratt.
I just don't think they were trash enough when they made it. That was the problem, probably.
Yeah. Was it Seth Rogen? It's not Rogen. is it?
As Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. He was actually pretty great as Donkey Kong. Like his voice actually does
There you go. That's why.
work.
He was probably the only one that was ready for that
He was on the
movie.
on the drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like barrels. I can throw them. I'm smoking barrels.
Okay, so hey, next week is I don't want to make promises on what we'll do, but it's our birthday-versary.
Right.
Meaning it's the birthday / anniversary. Well, it's Jesse's birthday. It'll be Melanie and I's anniversary, and it'll also be the birthday / anniversary of the Grawlix podcast.
Right.
That makes this a special time of year. Next week will be our birthday-versary episode, and we might have something special planned. 10 years. Actually 10 years this time.
Right.
Regardless of what I've said the last 3 years.
We should add it in like a 3 in there, like anniversary or something. Birthday.
Ooh, yeah.
And a thirstery.
We were just playing by primer rules in the past, so
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sometime between 2019 and now, the timelines, things got a little wonky for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's weird.
it's pretty strange. 10 years. Eventually we'll hit 100 episodes.
Weird.
I shouldn't even mention that, though.
That'll be weird. Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Don't look at how many episodes are actually on the podcast feed. And don't look at how many YouTube videos we have.
No.
We have a lot of YouTube videos, by the way. We have a ton of YouTube. Yeah. Hey, we need to get out of here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
GrawlixPodcast.com. Also, Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. You can go there, electronicmediacollective.com.
Yep.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
That's right. Thursdays, they can get bent.